Hi everyone. So I want to talk to you about Unit 3 down here. We are still in Unit 1. We're still writing the letter of civic engagement. But I want to have you look down here at the final research project we're going to be doing in this class. It's a major project. It takes some time during a normal quarter of a 12-week quarter. I would usually give students 6 weeks to start planning and thinking about it. So since this is a summer class, we have now about 5 weeks so left after we finish this week. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this now, just thinking about it. I don't want anyone to panic, but I want you to be aware that in a few weeks we're going to be focusing on this assignment. I'd like you to all start thinking about it at least now. So this is the prompt, and the prompt is there if you want to go check it out. And don't let yourself be too bothered by it. I know some of you are curious, you're going to go read the whole thing, but right now I just want to point out a few things on this prompt that you can start thinking about. So you have to write what's going to be called a literature review. This is a real academic genre. It's not at all like, let's say, a 5-paragraph essay. It's not like the letter assignment. In fact, it's not quite that different from the standard research paper that you maybe have written in other classes, but those probably weren't actually true research papers. A research paper means you're actually going out and doing research, collecting data. You have methods, you have a hypothesis, you make some conclusions based on the data. Some of you may have done something like that. That's actually a research paper. Typically, what your teachers have assigned is closer to a literature review. So in a lot of ways, you've already done something like this. You've done what we would call a literature review. It's just your teachers didn't call it that. So this is a literature review. It can be challenging, and I want you to write it as a scholar. I want you to be the academic, and you're going to read other academics. You're going to review what other academics are writing. You're going to post it, and that can be really challenging. If you scroll down here, you'll notice you're required to use 8 peer-reviewed academic articles. And if you've ever read one of those, you've probably noticed they can be challenging. They're not that easy to read. So, with that in mind, I want in this assignment for you to write about something that actually genuinely interests you. You have to be fascinated with your topic, because the only way you're going to get through 8 peer-reviewed articles, and the only way you're going to be able to write your own academic article about those peer-reviewed articles, is if you're really interested. It'll help you get through your topic. So, and I can't stress enough how important this is. The more personally intrigued you are with your topic, the better this whole project is going to turn out. Most of my students love this assignment by the end. They find it's challenging, and it's tricky, and parts of it are complicated, but they really enjoy it because they get to pick something they're interested in and really learn something new. So, I mean, I've had students pick sometimes the strangest topics, and I really enjoy them. I've had students write anything, from engineering and sports cards to feminism in Disney princesses from the 1950s till today. I've had students write. I just had this student write this really bizarre paper about, I guess in Japanese anime, when sometimes when a male character is attracted to a female character, he gets a nosebleed. And so I know it's kind of strange. Human beings don't normally do that when they're attracted to someone. They don't get a nosebleed. But she wrote this fascinating paper about Japanese culture, sexual repression in Japanese culture, and how that's expressed in various kinds of literature, and in often cases in anime. And so she did sort of this analysis of that odd feature. Um, so you have to be interested. I've had students write about video games. I've had students write. I had a student write about mushrooms because he forages for mushrooms on the weekends. And I want to make another point. If you don't pick something that's interesting to you, this is going to be really hard to do. For instance, I had a couple of quarters ago, I had 2 students in 2 different classes. They were almost writing about the exact same topic. One student, well, they were writing about what they were saying. What are the most current therapies for a particular kind of cancer? And so I met with one of the students to talk about it, and he said he was having a lot of trouble. It was really hard to read the articles. He was really bored. He had no clue how to go forward. He was struggling immensely, just finding articles, writing about them, reading them. And so I asked him, I was like, "Well, why'd you pick this topic?" And he said, "Well, I don't know. I thought there'd be a lot of articles, and it'd be easy to find stuff." That is not a good reason to pick a topic. Chances are you can find articles about just about anything you're interested in. And so he wasn't actually interested, and it was really hard for him to do the assignment. When I asked the other student, I put the same question to her because she also said, it was really hard to read the articles. And I asked her, well, so why'd you pick this topic? She said, because I have this kind of cancer, and I really want to learn what are the latest therapies the researchers are putting out for this particular kind of treatment. Um, so was she interested? Absolutely. Like for her, it was like life or death. So she told me, she said, look, these articles are really hard to read, but I don't care. Like I want to read them. I want to get through them. So the more interested you are, the better this project's going to turn out. So with that in mind, I don't want this video to get too long. Let's go down here, and I'll talk to you more about selecting topics later, but I want to just start initially brainstorming, right? So you're going to do this assignment this weekend. And again, this is an individual group, so only I will see what you post. So you're going to watch this video, and please write while you're watching this video. In this discussion thread, you're going to post answers to the following questions. And when I ask you to pause the video, go ahead and pause it and then start writing, because you have to write 10 things and that takes some time. So hit pause, and then once you have enough, go on and I'll explain the next. So here with this one, let me start explaining this one. And in a moment, I'll ask you to pause. So here, I'd like you to jot down, brainstorm, and it could be really brief, but you should try to be as specific as possible. So 10 things that you learned in other classes that interested you. So I'm hoping everybody's had some experience in some academic context where a teacher said something or another student said something that you thought was really, really interesting, and you were just fascinated. So, hey, what is that? Write down 10 things, 10 times that happened. I know, it's going to be hard to get to 10, but do your best. And be more specific than, don't just write psychology. Really focus in and say, oh, you know what, I was really intrigued. Sitting in my biopsychology class, and there was this comment about neuroplasticity and about how people who, for medical reasons, have half of their brain removed, the right side of their brain or the left side of the brain, whichever it is, can actually adapt and take up the activities of the missing hemisphere. Right, so that's like really specific. So get specific. Go ahead and pause, and when you're ready, start the video again. Brainstorm 10 things. Okay, so picking up again, things that interest you. I'm hoping that if you've picked a major field of study that actually is interesting to you, or a future career that's really interesting to you. So again, get specific. What are 10 things about it that really, really interest you? Again, please don't be super vague. Don't say accounting. Try to actually narrow in, focus in on whatever that is. So go ahead and pause, list your 10 things, and then when you're ready, hit play again on the video. Okay, now finally, there's item number 3 down here. List 10 things from your personal interests. I'd say probably 80% of my students end up writing something down here. It's more of like a personal topic that they're into, and so that they write their literature review about that. This is really critical because sometimes I have students who aren't interested in their classes, and they actually aren't interested in their future career. I had a student who was really struggling starting this assignment, and so I just asked her, I was like, "Okay, well, what are you studying?" And she said, "Well, I'm studying accounting." I was like, "Okay, that's great. Like, do you want to become an accountant?" She's like, "Yes, I want to become an accountant." I was like, "Well, maybe there's a topic there that interests you." And she said, "No, I hate accounting." Right? So she'd selected accounting. She hates accounting. So that might, if that's the case, then don't do that for this kind of paper. If you hate school and you hate work, uh, pick something else. Pick something from your personal interests. And in her case, it turned out she was this avid watcher of reality television series. So she did this interesting media analysis of various different shows and how they were changing um, television consumption in the United States. Right. So anything can be interesting. So hit pause, or actually, this is the end of the video. So write 10 more things from your personal interest, things that really interest you. Again, be specific. Don't just say music or sports. Get really focused, narrow it down, but you can be brief.